Well, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about MicroStrategy today, MSTR. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, you guys, and let's get into it. The purpose of this video is to discuss essentially the mishap of today, or not really a mishap, it was kind of a no-hap at all, of the inauguration of Trump not talking about cryptocurrency or Bitcoin at all. No mention of it at all. I want to discuss that and what I think that means for the price action, not just for MicroStrategy, but for Bitcoin, because I think that's important. I have made a video on this kind of thought of the inauguration, so I don't want to talk too much about it. I want to keep it to price action and technicals. That's what you guys appreciate more so anyways. You want the other stuff, there's other channels for that, right? You guys know me as the chart monkey. We're going to do that, right? So it's time to climb some trees. Okay, so here we are looking at 396 right now at MicroStrategy. Okay, we did not get the Bitcoin strategic reserve. We did not get any of the crypto friendly kind of expectations that we were expecting for the inauguration. I'm trying to find this here. I need to get Bitcoin pulled up. I normally have multiple trading view charts pulled up at once, but I've been irresponsible. I've been an irresponsible trader recently. I just haven't really been on the computer too much over the past couple days. But anyways, enough of my own excuses. MicroStrategy, whenever it closed on Friday, closed at 396. Bitcoin at the same time closed, I believe it was at about $105,000 on Friday. If we look at it here, right? At about 105. It says 104, but when MicroStrategy closed, Bitcoin's day was still open, so I think it came down afterwards. I'm pretty sure Bitcoin was at about 105. So here we have no Bitcoin strategic reserve, no Bitcoin at 105,000 or more. We didn't get any Bitcoin pump. It's actually a little bit lower. So my expectation would be that tomorrow MicroStrategy probably dumps. It probably drops a little bit. And how far does it drop? Could it drop down here? Could it drop all the way down here, finding a higher low that's kind of simpatico with this trajectory that you have here? It's very possible, and actually seeing something like that from an overall high to low here, going back to your 236 is completely possible, and it's a valid kind of acceptable thing to do. You could do that, and then look at that. Higher lows, right in line, very, very right in line with this kind of thing. I'm not saying you do. I'm just saying you're at 396 now. If for whatever reason MicroStrategy is at 332 tomorrow, that's probably the most ideal area to buy. It's a gift if it happens, so don't panic if you see it. I don't think it's going to happen. Truthfully, I don't suspect MicroStrategy will get below 336. I think you will find respect, and I mean, maybe I shouldn't say that. I don't think you get below, let's say, 350. Too much below 350, somewhere around there. You could go a little bit below this yellow line, but I think you might fill this gap, come back up. You might not close the day at this price, but I would suspect that you do continue to move up along with Bitcoin. I suspect that Bitcoin does continue to move up, if not today, if not tomorrow, over the coming days, over the coming weeks, and certainly going into February. I expect by the end of this month, Bitcoin's at 102K. It could still, and I do expect that it will be worth over 120K. I'm thinking likely it's at around 130K by the end of the month. If Bitcoin's there, I would assume MicroStrategy will be at immensely higher prices than it is now. So whatever it does in the meantime really doesn't matter all that much, does it, right? So just getting, again, this video is kind of a extension of yesterday's video. It's what I wanted yesterday's video to be, which is just a getting our minds right, getting our heads set for the week to come, being prepared for anything and everything that we might see, because, and I don't know if you guys know this, right? I made it clear, I made a video talking about it, but I am holding MicroStrategy now. I own some stocks, I bought some call options, right? I think that MicroStrategy is going to go up a lot, and I don't think that it's a good time to really be messing around as far as getting out goes. It's only buying right now. I very much do believe it continues to grow, but with that being said, even though we are expecting the upside, that's where our eyes are focused on, our targets that are at 647, 808, 961, and beyond by the end of February. Likely we are above $1,000 by the end of February. That's where our targets are. That's where our eyes are. That even might be where our hearts and souls are. Do not get discouraged if it does something different, because on the path to riches and glory, you have higher lows, you have higher highs, you have fluctuations, right? It wasn't sunshine and rainbows the whole way up, but at the same time, being where we are now, remembering this, it was pretty much sunshine and rainbows the whole way up, right? It basically was just a fun time all the way up, but there were periods where for a week you moved down, for a week you moved down and consolidated, for 2 weeks you're just moving sideways, right? And really it looks retrospectively like you were just moving up, but It didn't happen overnight is all I'm trying to say. This move from a low to a high where you moved up 377% in the course of September 6th all the way until November 21st, that move did not happen overnight. It took time, and while it looks like it just moved up gradually, there were moments where here you can literally see from a high point, you didn't break above that high point until 6 days later, which actually it was 6 bars, 10 days, because the stock market's only open 5 days out of the week and not on holidays. From this high, you didn't break above that high for 10 days later again, right? This high here, you didn't break above that high for that time it was 9 days later. Hey, that might be good. That might be good to remember going forward, right? We put in a momentary high, don't expect to break it until 10 days later. Might be something. How far away did those lows go to? Let's actually look at that. 2 days, 3 days, kind of close as well. 4 days, so six days there. So not really any relevance there. Just in the breakouts, not the lows itself. So, anyways, all that to say, I do suspect we'll move up. I suspect that we probably open up tomorrow to the downside. I want to look at the 3-hour time frame, look at some shorter term time frames, and then be done with this, right? We're overbought. We're a little bit overbought. Higher highs in the RSI, higher highs in the price as well. What about here? What about this relative high to low here? You didn't even hit your 1272. So I would suspect, just looking at this, actually, and MicroStrategy does this thing. See, earlier I was saying we'd probably go at the lowest like 340 or 350, but I don't even know if we go below 373, below this 886 here, because MicroStrategy does this thing where it'll form gaps, but it doesn't fully fill them whenever it fills them. It just partially fills them. So I suspect we will see prices below 383, but not below 373. I suspect that if we go below 373, it's okay. Everything's fine. Donald Trump's president. There's no strategic reserve for Bitcoin, but he's still crypto friendly. He literally made a bunch of meme coins. Him and his whole family did. He didn't talk about crypto at all. There was no mention of crypto at all, but he literally made his whole family dumped meme coins on the market worth billions of dollars the night before he was inaugurated. He's a pro crypto guy. Everything's going to be fine, guys. Everything's going to be fine. So if it goes below 373 and my expectations are wrong, maybe it goes to 364 and then it bounces. So what? Don't freak out. All I'm trying to say is my personal expectation, if I can have that, if I'm entitled to that, is 373 to 383. Likely probably something I would say just below 383. Not quite, I would say closer to 383 than 373, but something in between there. You're at 396 now. As soon as we get down there, we might open up the day down there and then close the day. We could close the day higher than the current price, but I think that would involve Bitcoin seeing some price action growth as well. So I'm a bit skeptical on that note. We'll see. There's enough causality for it to go down that would make sense. Bitcoin could go down to 96 to 95K. It's completely possible. It could just as easily from here rip. I really don't know. Tomorrow we didn't get, and I'm going off of all these things that are just beyond technical analysis, but we didn't get the strategic reserve today. We might get it tomorrow. We might get it next week. There could be all these crypto positive things that are coming. Right? It's not that it didn't happen and now it's never happening. It's that it didn't happen when it was expected to happen, and now it's going to happen at some point whenever we don't expect it, right? Which I think is going to be a cause for celebration. Probably the reason why is because Bitcoin's at relative all-time highs. It might be more strategic for a strategic reserve to start accumulating at lower prices. Perhaps, maybe even, the United States government is already accumulating stuff. Well, no, I probably not. You'd have to put in an executive. I don't know. Could they do something like that in the dark? I mean, it's the United States government. I'm sure there's plenty of things they can do and do in the dark. I don't know. I would doubt if Trump started accumulating Bitcoin, he would probably make that public. I don't know. I'm just talking about theory here. But the point remains, it's going to happen. Don't worry about it, right? Don't worry about it. We're at 396 now. A little bit of a downside move tomorrow is probably what I would expect. I do suspect that tomorrow closes red, but the rest of the week will make up for it and close green. I suspect that by the end of the week next week, by the end of the week, I say next week, it's this week, which would be on, what day is that? The 25th of this month, the 25th. I think that we will be at 441 or higher. Any deficit from here is just a blessing. It's not a curse. That's all I got for you. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe, get your bags ready, pack your bags, load the truck up. We got a full tank of gas, man. We're going for a ride. We just might have one more pit stop before we do. Take care. Bye-bye.